as well as looking at a building from a architectural history perspective, you can also look at it from an archaeological perspective, how things layer over each other and how they relate one phase against another phase. And the building we're trying to date at the moment, most of the internal walls are built in this style of large square panel framing of uprights and mid rails with 3.5 foot square panels which would be infilled with wattle and daub. But if we look on the other side of this room, you'll see a wall that is made of a completely different structural form. It's what's called close studding, which is a very showy, very expensive way of construction, and a sort of construction that you use on the exterior of a building. It wouldn't be necessary to put it on an interior wall as here. So what is interesting, you can see the main beam of the ceiling of the building we're in at the moment just rests here up on a little bracket, which implies that the building that we stood in at the moment was built up against the end gable wall of the building, adjacent building, and this wall was originally an exterior wall. When this, before the building that we are in was built, the building butting up against this wall would have been lower, 2 stories, and this wall would have been visible from the street. And you can see that again in the attic space of the range. So here we are 1 floor up from the room we were previously in, and again you can see this truss is the truss of the building that we're currently dating, and the close stud work here behind is the gable end of the building up against which this building has been built. And you can see quite clearly here in the centre there's a window which looks out into the attic space of this building, so it's quite obvious that this building has been built up against the gable end of a pre-existing building. We are currently in numbers 19 to 20, which is the left hand half of this drawing. Number 21, you will notice, has got 2 gables above eaves level to the roof space. The supposition has always been that there was 2 matching gables to numbers 19 and 20, and while we were in the roof space we've been looking for evidence that those gables were there. So what we've got here, we've got the main purlin of the roof, which is holding the roof structure, but this timber is actually a replacement, and what you can see beneath to each side, you've got the short purlin, which is the original purlin, which is jointed in to one of the roof rafters. So you've got one on one side and one on the far side, and that confirms that originally this roof space did have a gable onto the street, and the same is repeated in the bay to the north. So we had two gables reflecting the arrangements of number 21.